Hey everyone, welcome back to another book preview video. This week I am pretty excited because we have got a collection of books. So let me get tucked into this. So there should be 3 books in this order. And there we go. These are 3 books by 3D Total. I've got them upside down. I am really excited to try these out. A few of these I've been after for a long time. The one we're going to look at in today's video is this one here. So bear with me one second while I clear some of this space. Okay, so you can see that a little bit better here. We have Character Design Collection Heroines from 3D Publishing. This one is a new series of books, so I don't know too much about this yet. So in a similar way to some of 3D Total's other art books, this one is 50 different artists again. I always like it when they do these types of books, and we'll touch in a second why that's quite good. But first of all, I'm just going to leave this open on the contents. In fact, I'm going to bring it up to the camera a little bit, if it can focus, just so that you guys can get an idea of what's inside. As usual, I'm just going to sort of preview through this book, skipping a couple of pages at a time, just so you guys get an idea for what's inside, whilst I ramble on over the top. So I will touch on why I think 50 different artists is good, but I just want to say right off the bat, I'm quite excited about this one. Because I used to draw quite a lot of pin-ups, and whilst I know it's not the same, I do find this kind of book, I think it's relevant, I think there's an overlap. So I'm quite excited to learn new things from this. And when I first saw this book had been released, I do like superhero type stuff, but with it saying superheroine, I wasn't completely sold initially, because I thought of it as your typical, superheroine or superhero, whatever you want to say, in like a costume, modern day, Marvel type thing. Which there's absolutely nothing wrong with, that's great, but I prefer more general fantasy, for example. But I looked at the preview images online, and I can see just from flicking through it now, that it's not just that kind of thing. It might have this in here as well, I'm not sure. But it definitely has some more traditional fantasy, which I'm really big on. In fact, from looking at the information online about this before I bought it, from memory, it says something about including classic comic book superheroines, but also fantasy, sci-fi, princesses, magical. It's going to cover loads of things, which I'm really excited about. And for those of you that are quite familiar with 3D Total's other books, this one reminds me a little bit of the Sketching from Imagination series, which is actually one of my favourite series of books. You might remember that I did a quick preview of the character one, so I'll put a link up for that, by the way, but it reminds me a little bit of that, and that was one of my favourites. So I've never been huge on step-by-step books for learning. I do think they have value, but I've always thought, they only teach you how to draw one single thing, as opposed to you actually learning much from it. Whereas books like this, I think, are much more interesting, because you get a bit of an insight into the artist workings. The notes are very helpful. It's good to know what they're thinking about, why they're doing it. I feel like these kind of books give you the tools to actually learn to draw something yourself, as opposed to fixing you to one set drawing step by step. I think you guys know what I mean. So this one actually has sketches in it, but it also covers a bit of thumbnailing and expressions, things like that. I think, in fact, online, on the description for this one, it mentions a few other bits that it covers, like costumes, as mentioned, expressions and emotions, which is pretty cool. And I've mentioned this in one of my older videos, but one of the reasons I like the ones where it's 50 different artists is actually because I was quite locked into one style, just realism, whereas when I started exploring these books, it kind of opened my mind up to them a little bit. I saw things in them that I really liked, and from there I've started developing my own style, and I'm a bit more open to other artists' work now, so I find it quite good, even if I don't know the 50 artists in here, and even if it's not my specific style, there's so many different styles within the book that I feel like there's something for everyone, and you might find yourself, like me, pleasantly surprised with these types of books because you discover something new that you like. So I really like that one, for example. That's a really cool style, and I like the whole bow and arrow thing. I'm a bit sold on that kind of thing. Now, I'm not going to be able to mention all of the artists. I will try and put some in the description box, but obviously check this out on the 3D Total website. But I do know that Ahmed Aldari is in this book, I find that pretty cool because a lot of you who were watching, obviously on YouTube, might have already heard of him. He does have a YouTube channel, and he is an incredibly good artist. In fact, I looked online and I know that he's created a fire superheroine for this book. Another one that I think is really cool there. Of course, I'm only skipping through this on camera as well. I haven't had time to actually sit and read it yet. I'm really excited to do that. But these are my first impressions as well, or my first viewings of it, let's say. So I'm not getting to stop and look at it properly just yet. And you can see that we are getting to the end of the book here. We're almost at sort of 200 pages. Let me have a quick look. Let's see how many there is. So there's about 213 pages. We will take a quick look as well at the last few, just in case you recognise any of the artists. I actually did recognise one that I didn't know was in it just from glancing there. Let's take a look. So contributors, I'm not going to stop and mention the names. I'm just going to skim through this so that you can see them, in case that helps you in making up your mind. I know that when I have a favourite artist that's in these kind of books, I always really want the book. Also, a bit of a plug for my other videos. I think I've got a video of this one as well, so I'll put a link to that in the description box below. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was the Character Design Collection for Heroines, 3D Total Publishing. Just from skipping through it there, I'm pleasantly surprised just how much content is in these books and varying styles. I'm also really excited to make a video on these two books. This one especially I've had my eye on for a while, so make sure that you check back for those videos. Let me know in the comments below what you think to this one, whether you've already got it or whether it's on your wish list. Aside from that, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, turn notifications on for future content. Thanks for watching, everyone.